All right, Shalom. First and foremost, before I begin this lesson, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Racha HaKodash. The honors go out to our apostles, elders, great millstone, who rule and teach well. Shalom, Mabarakim to you, brothers and sisters out there. All right, this is Brother Malachi from the Great Millstone Nashville Camp. And Lord, when that this lesson is edifying to the hopeful elect. Right, I'm just going to touch base on remaining in the spirit of prophecy, which, starting with the apostles and elders on down, that's what we focus on, right? That's one of our main concerns, and I'm saying one of our main concerns because another big concern that we have, or a big topic or focus, is self-examination. I would say first and foremost is prophecy, all right? In terms of what we teach is prophecy, but within our own minds, self-examination is up there as well, because we want to make sure that as we see these prophecies coming to pass, we're also mentally preparing ourselves for these things, and we're also making sure that we're giving our due diligence, making our calling and election sure, okay? Because you don't want to just pay attention to prophecy and you see that time is winding down more and more every day, every week, every month, every year, but you're still making the same mistakes, But these other camps, they don't really focus on prophecy, and that's a big telltale sign of who is and who isn't, truly the prophets of the Lord, which the word prophet, or prophesy rather, goes into saying before, which means basically bringing out, future events before they take place, such as World War III, or the MOTB, which is the C-hip. The other nations are going into captivity. Jacob's trouble, which Jacob's trouble in itself is a broad term, if you will, because it involves a lot of different plagues and catastrophes, right? Which we go into all of them, natural disasters, martial law, famine, all right, pestilence, insurrection, war. Salaki. And that's what we're going to continue to go into until the famine of the word hits, which that in itself is a prophecy as well. And the reason why the Lord wants us to prophesy is to warn our people, to let them know what's coming. And not only to let them know what's coming, but it's also, it's also inspirational unto us. It's a faith booster. Because since we understand the prophecies, when we start to see them unfold, it's like, wow. It's like a nitro boost. It's like, it's a beautiful thing. One of the biggest things right now that's being talked about is these tariffs, which, Lord knows what that's going to look like down the road, but it's already starting to look pretty bad for America. And we can see a lot of countries are starting to turn their back on America as well. That's another beautiful thing, because that's going to tie into World War III. It's like, I'm not trying to keep yawning. But this is Revelation chapter 19, verse 10. It says, "And I fell at his feet to worship him. And he said unto me, See thou do it not. I am thy fellow servant, and of thy brethren that have the testimony of Yahweh Shai. Worship God, for the testimony of Yahweh Shai is the spirit of prophecy." Okay, so the Lord is all about prophecy. And that's what we need to be all about, right? One of the biggest ones that we constantly go into is the C-hip, all right, which is the MOTB, okay, the beast of the mark, you see? And I said it backwards because a lot of these other camps, they don't bring that out, or they bring it out, but they don't break it down correctly. Which, if you're not going to break it down correctly, you might as well not even bring it out. Right? If you're going to say that the MOTB is the white woman, or sin, or an embargo, or any and everything else that they say outside of the implant, A C hip. You might as well not even bring that out. Okay, because like scriptures say, you're going to have blood on your hands. You're going to be held accountable for people's death. Because although they're sinners and they're going to die in their iniquities, you didn't blow that trumpet. Like it says in Ezekiel 33. Okay? This is Sirach chapter 39 verse 1. It says, but he that giveth his mind to the law of the Most High and is occupied in the meditation thereof will seek out the wisdom of all the ancient and be occupied in prophecies. Occupied. Let's go ahead and get that word. Occupied. It says, it's the second one here, busy and active. It says, fill or take up a space or a time, be situated in or at, hold a position or a job, fill or preoccupy, keep someone busy and active, take control of, which down here it says it comes from the Latin occupare. If I'm saying it right, I'm not Latin, so I'm not too sure, and I'm not knowledgeable in the Latin, but it means to seize, which basically means to take up. It says being occupied means being busy, engaged, or in use, whether it's a person's time, a place, or a situation. All right, so you need to be occupied, you need to be busy. You can't be idle, right? We're not supposed to be idle servants. Supposed to be paying attention to the things that's going on. And once again, ultimately, so we can warn our people. 2 Ezra chapter 15, verse 1 to 2. It says, behold, speak thou in the ears of my people the words of prophecy, which I will put in thy mouth, saith the Lord, and cause them to be written in paper, for they are faithful and true. So all these things are faithful and true. They're going to come to pass because they have to. Okay? Because Isaiah 55:11, what the Lord says is not going to go out void, right? It's going to accomplish that which he please. So we're just trying to tell you people, man. We're just trying to warn you and let you know what's coming. All right, we don't give out due dates because we don't have dates and we don't need dates. All right, the Lord said to pay attention to the signs. If you don't want to pay attention, then that's on you. Okay, but don't be one of them foolish virgins that's trying to ask for some oil just because you didn't stock up yourself. And I'm not saying literally stock up. I'm saying just because you didn't take the mental preparation and even a little bit of physical, because there's nothing wrong with, having a couple case of water or, whatever. If you didn't want to take any precautious measures, then that's on you. I might as well keep reading on. It says, fear not the imagination against thee, and let not the incredulity of them trouble thee that speak against thee. For all the unfaithful shall die in their unfaithfulness. So we're not worried about people not believing us. Okay, because especially in the days that we're in now, because the scriptures say, let me grab it real quick. Ezekiel chapter 2 and 5, and then I'm going to get 33 and 33. It says, and they, I'm talking about the Israelites, whether they will hear or whether they will forbear, so whether they accept the truth or reject it. For they are a rebellious house, yet shall know that there have been a prophet among them. Why is that? Verse Ezekiel 33 and 33. And when this cometh to pass, lo, it will come. Then shall they know that a prophet had been among them. So these prophecies, once these prophecies come to pass, well, then they're going to realize, oh, dang, that dude in the video was right. That dude at work was right. That dude in the street corner was right. My cousin was right. Whatever it is. But by then, it's going to be too late. And a lot of people are going to come seeking for guidance. And if you even manage to stumble across a prophet, he very well might tell you Jeremiah 15 and 2 to kick rocks. Okay? So it's best to get the word now and pay attention to the prophecies now. Be a watchman upon the walls of Jerusalem. We're supposed to give the Lord not rest, day nor night. We're supposed to constantly pray that the Lord takes us out of here. We're supposed to constantly be tapped into the news. All right, doesn't mean you're going to know everything that's going on, but you need to be locked in. Okay, so Lord, when that this lesson was edifying, just something I want to throw up real quick. Before I close, I want to give all praise to Yahweh B'Shem El Shai B'Shem Rachah HaKodash. The honors the apostle, Elder Gray Millstone.